on float hoops. We are back live inside the Bill Harris Arena. Game 3 on day 2. 2 more to follow after this one. This one features men's action. The Tigers of Benedict College at 4-22 overall and 3-14 in conference play. They come into the tournament seated number 6. And they will meet the Dragons of Lane College. Dragons 4th out of the West, 14-10 overall and 11-7 in conference play. To meet here in this opening round for both of these teams as they try to push on into the tournament. Glad you could join us for our coverage here on Flow Hoops. Charles Ward alongside Tolly Carr, producer-director Toby Doran down to our right, and editor Eric Tabor to our left. Third ball game of the day, 2 more to follow, but this one is going to be a great contest, we believe. The Dragons with that 4th place seeding in the East coming in against the Tigers of Benedict College. Getting set for the starting lineups here inside the Bill Harris Arena momentarily, but this basketball game is certainly going to feature one of the stalwarts of the SIAC for the last few years, Kendarius Ash for the Dragons of Lane College.
Yeah, he's a rebounding machine, averaging a double-double on the year with just under 16 points. He's right at 15.8 and 11.6 boards on the year. He's a guy who has cleaned the glass for a while at Lane College. Not the leading scorer, though. Terrence Holt is actually the leading scorer, but only by a half a point. He's at 16.3. So those two guys. But Kendarius Ash, his energy, if you have not seen him play, he is just all over the place.
So getting starting lineups now. We'll do the same here for the Tigers of Benedict College. They're going to shape it up this way. It'll be the freshman Josiah Perry from Bowie, Maryland, going at the forward position. 5.5 points per ball game, 4 rebounds per Perry in the starting lineup. Devontae Wiltshire, the senior from Lauderhill, Florida. He'll go at the guard position, 8.5 points, 2.6 rebounds, 4 assists per ball game for Wiltshire for the Tigers. Romello Jones, the junior at 6'5 from Las Vegas, Nevada, will go at the swing position. Jones with 11 points per ball game and 5.4 rebounds. Darius Williams in the middle for the Tigers of Benedict, the freshman from Sumter, South Carolina. He averages just under 2 points per ball game. The Sean Graham, the junior from Gastonia, North Carolina. Junior at 6'3", averaging 11 points and 1.2 rebounds. Those are the 5 for the Tigers of Benedict College. Normally we say here they're coached by Fred Watson, but this year is Artis Maddox in his first year. Starting lineup for the Dragons of Lane College, DeMarc Brown will go. The junior at 6'1" from North Little Rock, Arkansas, 5 points, 1 rebound for him. Daniel Hill, the junior from Jackson, Tennessee, 2.7 rebounds and 2 assists per ball game. Jameer Mix, the redshirt senior from Detroit at 6'5", goes at the guard. 3.2 points, 1.2 rebound. Lucius Brown, the senior from Tacoma, Washington, at the swing, 5 points per ball game, 1 rebound. And rounding out the 5 is Kendarius Ash, the senior from Decatur, Georgia, first-team All-Conference Defensive Player of the Year, 11 points per ball game, 2 rebounds to round out the 5. Dragons coached by Bryant Bazemore. He's in its 8th season. With the call for this afternoon's ball game, the officiating crew. Take a look at them on the screen. If we've got them here, I know we do have them all racked. We're getting set for basketball action. And there they are, Quentin Jackson, William Osborne, and Tyrone Kidd. Taps up. Dragons on offense first.
It's been a rough year for Benedict, 4-22 on the season. Not the winning ways they are accustomed to, but this is the time of the year where you can make people forget about that for a little while.
Entry pass. Lucius Brown with the first basket of the ball game. Ash gets credit for that assist. Brown with the easy floater to get us going. On the push left side now. This is Graham. Whistle. They're going to wave that off. Graham working left side. Not sure if Ash provided that defensive stop there for the Dragons down low.
Near turnover on the inbounds pass.
Had a chance to run into Coach Bryant Bazemore yesterday. He was doing some scouting in some of the afternoon ball games. And he said, Charles, I just feel like this is the year. So we'll see if this plays out for him.
Well, he has the experience with his players, guys who have been around, and that's what you look for in tournament play, guys who can step up.
Ash trying to step up here, pushes it down in the corner to Brown. Now on the move, this is Mix. Mix in traffic, threw it away.
I think they're going to let, I thought they might have let him get away with the shot clock violation, but they're going to call a foul there.
I actually had the choice there, you're right.
The Benedict cheerleading squad made the trip, so they'll offer the Tigers a little encouragement.
Graham with a triple out front. That will encourage the team with that three-pointer. Well, they only gave him 2 out front there, so we're tied at 2 each. Back out front, this is Brown again. Look at the front of the yarn, and he missed on that shot. Ash takes a tumble. Tigers run on.
And he's right. I told you about his energy. He fell down, got up, ran back down court, and knocked the ball away.
Actually, just a step behind the rest of the group from getting up off of the surface.
Yeah, he has that Energizer Bunny energy out there. He just keeps going and going and going.
Tigers trying to work it across the floor now. Jump shot out front. Hard fall there by Romello Jones as he missed on the shot. Brown pushes the pace over to Ash, doubled in the corner. Bounce pass at the block to Brown. Lucius Brown misses there. There's a DeMarc Brown and a Lucius Brown on the floor. And now we've got a whistle on the floor.
Yeah, that was a soft touch, just a little too soft there by Lucius Brown.
So we go back the other way now.
Like any good player, he's looking at his hand like, why did my hand fail me? Like,
sure.
Must be something on my skin that caused me to miss that.
18 minutes left in the first half now. Behind the arc, this is Darius Williams for the Tigers. Got free with a lane to the basket, and Williams gets the lay-in. Quickly, we go back the other way. Mix handling now for the Dragons. Trying to backpedal on the inside. Shoving the freshman Perry, and he got the space for the basket. Perry just kept giving ground and giving ground. We got a steal there. Ash.
Got a steal.
And the floater. Yeah.
He's that type of guy. You know, I remember late in the season, I covered Benedict and Clark Atlanta. Benedict is a good team. From what I saw, they just faded late. But the first half, they were right there with Clark Atlanta to start the second half. But then it just seemed like that Washington Generals script where you know the Generals are going to fade according to script. And it's almost like when you start to lose a lot, you believe that yourself. But you see right now, Benedict's up to a 6-4 lead. They play strong early. They just haven't been able to finish games.
And I could not agree with you more about them as a solid team, because I saw them when they played Morehouse this year, only lost by 5, and it's the same formula you're talking about. They were right there in that ball game. It just when it got down to the stretch, it was this idea of, are we able to overcome mentally that we're not able to do it.
Deshaun Graham, he can shoot. He was lighting things up in the first half in Atlanta. But like we've just said, they just not a team that's been able to finish.
Right side, Tigers push it inside the paint and back out front. Floating jumper there, nicely done by Graham. You just called his name.
Oh yeah, he's a baller. Oh, I would not want to run into a screen set by Lucius Brown.
He's got body weight on him for sure. 6-6 to score here. On the floor now for the Tigers is Kelvin Omojola. Omojola, the junior from Las Vegas, Nevada. He and Romello Jones from Las Vegas. Ash, top of the key now. Spins, works it across the floor now. DeMarc Brown to the glass. Bank's going to count if they don't get him with the offensive foul. And it looks like they will.
Yeah.
Justin Anderson, the redshirt junior from Jackson, Mississippi, now on the floor for Coach Bazemore.
Yeah, Ricky Peterson drawing the charge on the other end.
Benedict with the basketball. Teams met once during the course of the year, and watch the spinner there. It's good.
Yeah, Graham, He puts together points very quickly. Once he gets going, he's a guy who likes to keep putting the ball up. He scored 2 buckets in a row now.
Graham early 4 points for the Tigers of Benedict, who lead at 8-6. Out front, this is mixed for 3. Can't find the range. The long rebound comes clear to Wiltshire. Pushes across the floor. In the corner again, Graham, he's on target.
It's like I've seen them play before, yep. Charles.
Yep, very fluid.
They lead 11-6. Again, they don't look like a 4-win team when you watch them play.
Over to Ash, right side. Ash with the floater. That's a shooter's roll there. Stayed good for Ash, the senior. First team all-conference player, defensive player of the year.
Now Devontae Wiltshire, he's lightning quick. He doesn't like to shoot the ball a lot.
That's Romello Jones underneath. Got to put back for an easy lay-in. So a good start here for the Tigers of Benedict. Already saw an upset in the men's action just prior to this ball game. And Benedict coming away with the rebound there. Trapped in the backcourt, and we have whistles. Either going to be Ash or Anderson, and it'll be Anderson with the foul.
Yeah, but Justin Anderson was a little aggressive there on the reach-in.
15-10 left first half of play. 13-8 lead. Tigers of Benedict leading the Dragons of Lane College. We'll take a break here on Flow Hoops. Back to live action here inside Bill Harris Arena. 13-8 Tigers of Benedict leading the Dragons of Lane College. Top of the key now. This is Peterson on the floor. They work at the right side to the rack. Stiegel out there challenged on the inside. He missed on the shot.
Yeah, Kadarius Ash had a little something to do with that.
Yeah, just a little bit. Lou Johnson, the junior from Sarasota, Florida, out front now for the Dragons with the basketball. They go to Ash, left corner. Ash back to Johnson. They push it around now. A couple of new players out there as Anderson penetrates and gives it over to Hill. At the block, Ash whistles before the lay-in. We got a foul down low. Ricky Peterson, the junior from North Charleston, South Carolina, guilty of that foul. Dante Mitchell, the redshirt junior from Tampa, out on the floor now for Coach Bazemore and the Dragons. Lucius Brown getting back out there. And they'll work it to him down in the corner. Brown bumping with that big body, draws the double team. Pushes to Hill. Hill back out Johnson. Good look from three-point range. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when you're that open, a good shooter doesn't even need half that amount of time.
So he makes it a 13-11 basketball game with that basket there for the Dragons. Ash inside, and they're going to get him for the foul, trying to provide the defense. Must have had some body contact there because the ball block was clean by Ash, but he will pick up the foul. Ash picks up his first. And at the line for the Tigers, it's Kelvin Omojola. Omajola's good on that free throw. And Omajola in the basketball game against Morehouse really had an outstanding performance for them. He's a transfer from UNLV and really showed it in that basketball game. Hit some great jump shots with some pressure around him and just showed his prowess and skill on the floor.
Pretty good get coming over from the Running Rebels. Not your dad's Running Rebels these
Tarkanian
days.
No, okay, question about it.
Larry Johnson's not walking through that door.
13:59 left first half. 14-11, the Tigers of Benedict with the lead.
Armin Gilliam is not walking through that door.
The winner will meet the Albany State Golden Rams.
Whoa,
Aaron by Graham there, lost it on the jump shot. Johnson on the move at the block to the rack. He's fouled.
Charging call.
So they'll wave it off and go back the other way. Albany State at number 2 in the East, waiting here for one of these teams Thursday at 3:15. There's our coverage of the 2019 SIAC Basketball Championships continues on Flow Hoops. Omajola, top of the key now. They work it inside to Peterson. Peterson doubled there, lost it momentarily, but the basketball comes to Stiegel, and the Tigers keep it with 10 to shoot. Stiegel pushes down in the corner. Peterson. Graham to the rack. It won't stay for him this trip. Rebound to Brandon Denso, who just got on the floor.
Looks like a foul away from the ball here.
Call that foul against Ricky Peterson for the Tigers of Benedict. So Brown will inbound it. Lucius Brown, the senior from Tacoma, Washington. Out front to Hill. Wasn't a fresh 30 for the Dragons. They've got 15 to shoot now. Danso trying to square up, calling for the basketball.
Is that where they grow those sequoias out there, Tacoma, Washington?
I couldn't say. If you don't know, none of us at the table knows. So maybe we'll have to get Toby on it to find out. But
Lucius Brown looks like a sequoia out there on the court, boy. He's a big body.
I see your reference point there. I was thinking you were talking purely birch trees. Omajola out front now. On the push, Stiegel raises with the jumper. The lefty with the line drive, shots off the mark. Dragons back the other way. They trail by 3. Hill hard step. He'll lean back with the jumper. That one's off the mark, though.
And the ball just finds a lane there on the offensive rebound.
Mitchell Dante misses on his jump shot, so the Dragons with 3 looks that trip down the floor, not able to convert on either. Back the other way, shooting a 3-pointer. That's Jones. His offering is off the mark.
Kadarius Ash ready to check back in. He gets a slight breather.
There's Johnson on the move. Good drop back on the shot. Missed there, though.
It's been a lot of back and forth without any made buckets the last couple of minutes here.
Omajola with the little scoop there. But you'll see that. That's the type player that he is. Got great body control and great instincts for the game.
If you can't go over them or around them, try going under.
Wiltshire back out on the floor. But they'll do so after the timeout. 11:36 left first half. Tigers leading at 14-11 over the Dragons. Back with more SIAC tournament action here on Flow Hoops. 11:36 remains in this first half of basketball. First round action for these teams, the Tigers of Benedict and the Dragons of Lane College. Right now, the Tigers with a 14-11 lead. And at the line, Kelvin Omojolo trying to add to it for the Tigers of Benedict.
They're waiting for the music to die. There we go.
And Omojolo got the first.
That BBD was feeling good to the sound operator.
Giving new meaning to the long play, right? And Omojolo with another coming. Johnson set to come in next dead ball for Coach Bazemore. The spinner pops out for Omojolo. 15-11, Benedict leads. Inside floater that time in the paint by Hill is off the mark. Rebound Danso, they'll get another look. They go right back inside to Danso and a whistle on the inside. So Johnson makes it back. Hill takes a seat. Ash will inbound it. Danso. Up top, this is Anderson. And now DeMarc Brown. Shot clock at 12. Now they've got 8 to shoot. Anderson trying to square, got it over to Ash. He's behind, jumps with the jumper there. A 2-point offering, but he missed on that shot. The rebound comes clear to the Tigers of Benedict. Bat it near the mid-stripe, but it comes down, and the Tigers get it in an easy lay-in by Ricky Peterson as a result. Dragons batted that ball, but it came down, and it worked out to be a 3-on-1 for the Tigers of Benedict.
And Benedict still comfortably in charge right now, 17-11.
Floater inside the paint is off the mark by DeMarc Brown, and it goes back over to the Tigers. 10:27 remains. Hill back on in the lineup now. He'll replace DeMarc Brown, the junior. Wiltshire out front now. He'll slide left side, left it down in the corner, jumper there. Bingo there for the Tigers of Benedict. That one knocked down by the freshman Darius Williams.
And that's what Wiltshire loves to do. He loves to utilize his quickness to break the defense down and find the open shooter.
Ash inside can't convert, but he goes for the rebound and he gets fouled on the second putback.
Yeah, Wiltshire is only averaging 8.5 points per game, which is pretty good, but his strength is to get the defense off balance and find his open teammates.
Averages 4.3 assists per ball game. Had 116 in the regular season. Ash from the line shooting here. Knocked down the first free throw. Romello Jones back out on the floor now for Coach Maddox and the Tigers. Coach Maddox in his first year, trying to put his initial stamp on that Tiger program after taking over at what has to be named a legend at Benedict College, Fred Watson, now at Miles College, and we'll see him and his new team of players here tomorrow in basketball action. And there's Wiltshire, as you indicate, over to Omojolo. Omojolo slide pass inside to Perry. Perry works the paint on Danso, got it airborne, but he missed on the shot. There is Mr. Ash with the rebound.
Yeah, he got that ball tied up and had him off balance when he went up for the shot. Had to just muscle it up there.
Johnson behind the arc. Back to Ash, right corner. Works past the defense, tries to flip it back out front and threw it away. Wiltshire pushing hard left side and a whistle. That time Ash on the other end of the floor got past the wave of the defense and then looked back outside. Probably better served by just taking a shot at that basket.
Yeah, he did a good job of spinning out of that double team. But then he threw the ball back to where he was.
Yeah.
There was nothing there but defenders.
So Wiltshire now to shoot from the line for the Tigers of Benedict. They lead at 20-13. 9:13 left first half. Largest lead for the Tigers in this ball game. Wiltshire good on the first. Finished the regular season at 88% from the free throw line, 43 of 49.
Oh, Wiltshire, he's built like a tailback. He looks like he could give a few snaps to Mike White's squad at Benedict.
Got them both from the line. Hill in the front court now. He'll slide all the way through the paint, tried to get it to the cylinder. He'll get a foul call. They're going to call that one on Perry on the inside for the Tigers with 9:04 left. And Dante Hill going to the line. Correction, Daniel Hill going to the line now for the Dragons of Lane College.
Daniel Hill, homegrown product out of Jackson, Tennessee.
It's his first points of the tournament.
If you want to keep the Kellogg motif going, teammate Jawan Curry started out at Kellogg Community College. He's from Detroit, Michigan.
I'll accept that continued reference.
I'm working on a sponsorship deal for Flo here.
I'm feeling it, yeah. Back out to Sean Graham for the Tigers of Benedict. He'll replace Kelvin Omojolo in the lineup. 22-15, Benedict with the lead. Teams met once during the regular season, and it was Lane winning that ball game in overtime, 95-87.
Benedict with a turnover here, almost a turnover. Kendarius Ash with some tough defense, and they finally do turn it over.
Hill pushes back the other way now, across the floor behind the arc, but whistles. And we go back the other way.
Yeah, had his foot on that sideline, out of bounds.
So turnover number 6 for the Dragons with 8:15 left first half. Wiltshire will push right side, bounce pass in the corner, free.
Gets in the paint and goes to the corner.
Rebound this time to Graham. They'll get another look. But they throw it right away.
Graham lets his teammate know there's something in my eye. Had a little blurred vision when I threw that ball.
Timeout on the floor, 7:55 left first half, 22-15, Benedict with the lead. Take a break here. This is Flow Hoops. Good showing by the Tigers of Benedict College early in this first round ball game for both of these teams. They lead the Dragons of Lane College 22-15. 7:55 left first half. Benedict 8 of 17 from the floor, 47%. Lane, you don't expect them to stay there right now at 5 of 17 shooting at 29. Hill, foul line extended at the block. Lucius Brown cannot convert. The rebound to Perry and the Tigers. And here comes Wiltshire with the quick step. Left corner, Graham behind the arc. Bingo.
Yeah, he's a streak shooter. When he gets into his hot streak, watch out.
Graham now 2 of 2 from behind the from behind the arc for the Tigers of Benedict.
A little inside-outside game here.
Hill in traffic. They'll get a blocking foul call there.
Oh, yeah, he got bailed out, too. He tried to get that jump stop, split the defense there, and actually ran into the defender more than anything else.
Wiltshire going to be the guilty party, but Wiltshire going right over to the officials, asking about the call, like the guy crashed into me.
You know, you look at Benedict, only 4 wins on the year, but you look at some of the teams that they did beat. Virginia Union out of the CIAA, which has a very good team. And Charles, a game that you were at, a victory over Morehouse.
Up there in Columbia and
okay, in Columbia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the day. Earlier that day, Morehouse received his highest ranking ever.
Absolutely.
in the coaches poll.
Yeah, they went to number 3 and then got
like,
down.
Yay, party! And then
yeah.
you lose to a team you think you were just
that's the way it
give
goes.
you a win.
That's exactly how it goes with 17 and 18-year-olds for sure. 7-11 left in the first half of basketball.
Had a great conversation with Coach Grady Brewer earlier in the year about how his wife responds to the coaching of their son, Xavier. I think Xavier and Mom are on the same team.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to break up that duo.
Yeah. Oh, Dad Brewer needs to lighten up a little bit is the verdict at home.
That's what's coming out, huh? Hard shot there inside taken by Darius Williams. He seems to be okay. Wiltshire set to inbound it just right of the cylinder for the Tigers. Jola back out on the floor.
Coach Brewer did tell me, though, he makes sure to have his staff members monitor that he's not being too hard on his son. Of course, he doesn't want to be too soft. You don't want to get that
can't get that out there either. Sure.
Yeah.
You almost have to go the other way to ensure that that's not the reputation of the word.
Yeah.
Wiltshire out front now. 25-15, the largest lead of the ball game for the Tigers. Graham being picked up defensively by Ash now. Coach Bazemore recognizing that it's Graham that's causing the problem, so he's throwing the defense of Ash on him. Wiltshire underneath with the shot, got it to the cylinder, missed on it. Ash cleared the rebound. Wiltshire backside with a foul.
Tell you what, if Benedict were to win, it would be an upset with the seedings, but I would not call it improbable at all.
Even at 4-22, I think I would agree with you. I've seen this team play.
Yeah, it's one of those things like Denny Green said, you are what your record says you are, but there are some exceptions to that rule from time to time, and I think Benedict is just a team, for whatever reason, just not able to put it together late.
You think about it, you got a first-year coach, and you've got a lot of some new players on this squad as well. The gelling time, and it's just an issue of peaking and just kind of stringing things together. You never know when that's going to happen. 6:32 remains, lead remains 10, and whistles. I think this is going to be an issue about the clock here, though. They'll put the shot clock at 27. And Darius Ash will inbound the basketball for the Dragons just down to our left. Daniel Hill out front.
Ash directing traffic. He's going to pull up for a long J and gets it to go. He has a nice stroke for a big man.
Indeed. Give him that basket, make it 25-17. Tigers still lead it. Omajola on the move at the block now. Pushes out with a nice pass. This is Graham again. Front of the iron on this shot, but Perry there for the rebound. Floats the paint and left it on the rack with another rebound and put back off the mark. And this is Wiltshire. He'll finish.
Yeah, one thing about Graham, he didn't get that shot to go, but he has a quick release. If he feels just a notion or a hint of space, he's going to let it go.
You get 4 opportunities on the offensive end of the floor, likely you're going to come away with the result you want.
Something good is going to happen if you get that many shots.
Left corner, Johnson pushes a 3, rattled it good there for the Dragons.
Yeah, he's hit a couple here in the first half.
Lead for the Benedict Tigers now to 27-20, just to 7. Cut there by the three-pointer by Johnson. Omojola trying to answer, and a whistle fouled on the three-point play.
Coach Bazemore, in the same breath, yelled at his player and offered a critique to the referee.
Did you see that?
Time.
Absolutely.
What are you doing? He didn't do anything.
Right. That's perfect, Ollie. That's exactly what happened.
I'm going to yell at him, but you were wrong.
Boy, that's Hollywood all the way, right? 5:21.
Now the official is telling him, you saw the man fall on the floor, right? He had some help in doing that.
How did he get there? Omojola misses on the first of 3 after being fouled on a three-point attempt.
Yeah, Coach Bazemore, he's a good man, always a pleasure to talk to.
Oh, yeah, always accommodating as well. No question about it. Omojola good on the second of 3.
Well, Charles, you and I have just become recognizable faces. Here in the SIAC. You definitely longer than me, but you keep showing up, man. People just start talking to you.
Like, I remember you. Yeah. Omojola goes 2 of 3 from the line for the Tigers of Benedict. They push the lead back to 9.
They keep letting you in. I guess you're not that bad.
I guess. Hard push there by Hill, left side. He's going to be fouled. He will go to the free throw line for the Dragons. 5:12 left. Always a pleasure to come over here to Birmingham to cover the tournament, though.
Oh, yeah, it is. So happy that one of my dear friends, Tanita Stevenson, is now the director here at the Crossplex. She took over for Miss O, who was always accommodating, so Tanita following in her footsteps, and man, just a gracious staff. Anything you need. They even fed us a few minutes ago, which is always the way to our heart.
Sure, get me right away with that. She got on you a little bit yesterday when she saw you.
Oh yeah. We're close enough that she can put me in my place. I did not call before I arrived.
Sure, right.
So she had to let me know about that.
29-22, Benedict pushing the basketball now. Out front, jumper there, nicely done. Canned there by Morello Jones.
But a lot of great events at this facility. I know they just hosted the SWAC track championship last week. Yesterday they had a track meet next door. Always some great, exciting things in the college sphere going on around here.
Omojola fired a three-pointer. Shots off the mark. It'll stay with the Tigers on their end of the floor. 4:37 left. Benedict lead back up to 10. 32-22 over the Dragons. Stiegel out on the floor now for Coach Maddox and the Tigers of Benedict. He'll push it to Omojola. Now out front to Darius Williams. Tigers spreading that floor. Williams bounced past Perry. Nice step by him. Perry with a sliding layup, right hand on the left side, and he got it to fall.
On the left-hand side, he didn't have, even though he was on that side, it would have been a stretch to shoot it with his left hand, so he leaned back in and under the defender, finished with the right.
Lead is 12 now for the Tigers. Nice wraparound pass there from Hill. Ash top of the key. Hill underneath again, head fake. And comes up underneath Stiegel. And Hill will go to the line.
Oh, he jumped so high, he landed on his shoulders.
Sure. 4:03 left first half.
Hey, he might be one of those dunkers that can jump right over your head like we've seen in these dunk contests the last few years.
12-point lead for Benedict. Hill rattles the first free throw good for Lane. As DeJuan Curry reports for duty for Coach Bazemore, and back out again is DeMarc Brown.
You know, as Lane is playing catch-up here, Charles, I wouldn't mind seeing some more jump shots from Ash.
Sure.
Been effective so far.
And there is Hill with the second free throw. Looked good on that last jumper that he took and made. Lead back to 10 for Benedict.
Yeah, because they're swarming him down in the paint. Might need to stretch that defense out just a bit.
Stiegel, alley-oop pass down low to Perry, who was behind the defense, and he got that easy lay-in for the Tigers.
Yep, fundamental way to use the rim as a defender there.
Hill slides through left side to the rack, and he missed on the shot. Perry clears. Outlet pass Stiegel. Stiegel lost his balance but regains. Left corner on the push now is Williams.
He carried, he palmed. Yeah, got his hand under the ball there. Officials wanted to make sure they were seeing the same thing, but that was the right call.
3:27 remains first half. The lead is 12 for the Tigers of Benedict, 36-24 over Lane. Quick break here and back with more on Flow Hoops. Tigers of Benedict College, 48% from the floor, 13 of 27. Lane languishing at this point at 31%, 7 of 22. 12-point lead for the Tigers of Benedict, 36-24 after the timeout. Dragons with the basketball. Ash out front. 8 points for him in this first half of play, along with 5 rebounds. Left corner. That's Anderson pushing a 3. Shots off the mark. That's Lucius Brown with the rebound. And he started that play, got that basket the same way he started the game with the crip shot inside. But quickly back the other way come the Tigers. Basketball tapped by Ash. Look at the agile Ash try to catch it before it gets out of bounds.
He's telling his teammates, come on, man. I'm out here
hustling. I'm doing all the hard work, falling out of bounds, getting this thing. Can't you just catch it? You just sense he just plays with everything on his shoulder, you know.
Oh, man. And never gets tired at all.
2:50 left first half. 10-point lead for the Tigers. Omojola pushes left side. Quick ball movement by the Tigers. Back to Omojola now. Got some space. Airs the jumper. Missed it backside. Ash, rebound number 6 now. Leads the break. Left side. This is Anderson for 3. Off the mark, but guess who's on the inside? This time it's Demaric Brown with the follow.
Cuts their lead down to 8 points. Had been up to 12. Lane fans would love to see us. That's a travel.
Yep.
Love to see us stop here, and they get it.
Turnover number 7 for the Tigers. And you get the sense here that this is where Coach Bazemore knows they need to make the surge right before the break. Trailed by as many as 12. If you don't take a lead, you just want to have it single digits and closer to 1 than 10.
Yeah, you want to place that seed of doubt in Benedict's mind of is here we go again.
Another shot there by Anderson. He's short of the mark. That's an air
look
ball.
Squared up well when
he was kind of sideways on that one.
Almost side saddle.
Floater inside the paint's off the mark. Brown, Demaric Brown with the rebound there. Left side to Anderson. Head fake at the block. His shot swatted down low. Good defensive recovery there by Darius Williams. Oh, whistles on the play, and you could just see that as Stiegel tried to stop, and he just went straight down on the right knee. Forward motion, and he went straight down on the knee.
Yeah, because Lucius Brown set up to take the charge, but Stiegel crumpled before he even got to Brown.
1:38 left. He was undecisive about what he wanted to do and was in the air, and it just went straight down, force first with that knee. 36-28. Tigers of Benedict with 1:38 left before the break.
And it could be a cramp too, because you just never know. Sometimes that hamstring in mid-stride will tell you to sit down for a second, trying to be optimistic without playing doctor here.
Sure. The way they're looking at it, though, they're twisting that knee, and it looks like kind of what it was. He just kind of jammed that into the surface, headed down the floor. They're trying to see if they can stand him up. If they can do that, that'll be great news for him. And he is up and under his own power. So it looks like he's going to be at least okay there and able to put pressure on it as he walks toward the Tiger bench.
A little ginger, but he's,
Yeah, that's for the 20 crowd. For us?
Oh, there would have been a stretcher for you and me. We would have had the Paul Pierce wheelchair.
So Stiegel will go to the bench, but luckily able to go under his own power. 1:38 left, and we play on here. Opening round action for these schools. Second day of the SIAC tournament. We'll get you set with regard to what's already been settled here today and what brackets we have filled for the next round. As Hill is inside the paint, left-hand floater by him is off the mark. Perry has to fight off Lucius Brown with one hand and grab the rebound with the other.
I wouldn't want to fight off Lucius Brown with 3 hands.
Williams out front now. Brown jumps him near the mid-strike.
Yeah, he jumped that screen there. Disrupted that play.
63 seconds left first half. 7 to shoot for the Tigers. Inside to the rack. That shot's going to be short there by Williams. Here comes Ash leading a break. 3-on-1. And Hill, is he standing on the inbound line? Indeed, he was. So turnover number 7.
I would have liked to see Ash just keep the ball there.
Sure.
He had the momentum. There was just one defender back. He kicked it out on the wing. I'd like to see him put pressure on the defense, take it to the rack.
Absolutely. Not unless you've got a confirmed three-point shooter out there. You're better keeping that basketball toward the cylinder. You're giving up your advantage when you push it out on the wing. Perry works it at the post on Lucius Brown. They tack bodies and a whistle with a travel violation.
When you're in the post, you try to create contact to create space for you to get the ball off by dipping the shoulder and lunging it a bit into your defender. Only problem is he hit Lucius Brown and he bounced back.
Sure, that's where the space was going back the other way, causing him to travel.
He said, let me try it one more time. He hit it twice, and the only thing that moved was his feet.
Oh, man, I give up. I'll just take the turnover. Hill down low. That's nicely done. They'll count that.
Lucius Brown isn't the fastest guy out there laterally, but man, trying to dip the shoulder on him. Good luck.
Take a look at that on the replay. Hill with a tough penetration on the inside. Slicing in between three defenders there. Wow. Boy, good work. Gets rewarded with a basket and a trip to the line.
Finishing with the left hand on the right side of the basket.
Omojola back out on the floor. So is Wiltshire. So you get the sense here that Coach Maddox wants to get a good offensive set coming back in after this free throw to see if they can't close the half with another basket.
Well, I'll do my Tony Romo and tell you what's going to happen before it happens. Wiltshire is going to bring the ball up right-hand side, crossover, find the shooter in the left corner.
Shooter is going to be Kelvin Omojolo as well. It's 9. No, it's going to be Deshaun Graham. 6 to shoot. Graham slides, foul line extended. They got what they wanted. Exactly what the Tigers wanted from the coaching staff, and the players follow dutifully on the floor. So the lead is 7 at the break. The Tigers of Benedict 38, Dragons of Lane College 31. We promise you more basketball ahead on Flow Hoops. We are back live inside the Bill Harris Arena. We told you we'd be back for more basketball on floor hoops, and we are.
So we are halfway. We're at the
Yeah,
halfway point
absolutely
right now.
halfway. And we've been at this place almost all day.
Yeah, we are 2.5 games through our 5-game slate on the afternoon.
And the place that we are is the Bill Harris Arena at the Crossplex in Birmingham, Alabama. 2019 SIAC Basketball Championships. And at the midpoint of this basketball game, it's the Tigers of Benedict with a 38-31 lead over the Dragons of Lane College.
Charles, are you feeling bad and bougie right about now?
Bad and bougie?
Yeah.
I can't say. Should I be? Is that what the music's telling me to be?
See, I just play off the songs in the arena, and then you look at me as if I made up something new. I'm just going on what they said.
Well, like I said, I really applaud your ability as a senior to really listen.
As a senior, what year do they mail out that AARP card? Is that on the way?
Yeah, you'll be getting it shortly.
I gotta be getting close.
No, just senior in mind. That's all. Maturity. Yeah. So we get set to start second half action. Benedict with a 38-31 lead. First half of play, they were 14 of 31 from the floor, 45%. Dragons 33%, 10 of 30 shooting. 2 of 10 from behind the arc, 4 of 8 in three-point shooting for Benedict. From the free throw line, Lane 9 of 11, Benedict 6 of 11. Winner of this ball game pushing on to quarterfinal action. Ash quickly to the cylinder with a floater, and he got that to fall.
Yeah, Ash, I think he's going to have the mindset of all business here. We played around with Benedict long enough. It's not our intention to come here and go home in the first round as a higher seed.
Inside basket there by the Tigers. They answer quickly. The basket by Ash on the other end. Just underway, 19 minutes, 26 seconds left in the ball game.
Yeah, Josiah Perry, he's not going to try that create space thing again.
Floater right side at the corner by Mix is off the mark. Benedict clears the errant shot. Perry.
They have the numbers here.
Wiltshire pushing. Slides left side, quick step by him, but Ash coming in and just swatting that basketball away.
Yeah, had a little contact after the block there that it wasn't called. He got away with one there.
19:03. Don't sure if that makes any difference that the contact occurred off the field of play or the court as they were both going out of bounds. But Ash trying to block that basketball. Here comes Graham now. Works it down in the corner. Romelo Jones on the weave. Omojola underneath. Ash trailing him. Take a look at that block on replay. We can kind of see what that contact was and where it occurred.
Hey, you see Benedict here with the numbers and pushing the ball up the court. And that is a rejection.
Reject. And at the line, Omojola missed on the first. One more coming his way.
Much like my dating life before I got married. Rejection.
Well, you got the one that counts. So.
Nice.
41-33 after the 1 of 2 effort from the line by Kelvin Omojola.
Yes, big thanks to the wife who helped facilitate my week-long stay in Birmingham here as we negotiate the whereabouts of our children from day to day.
Mix got the basket there, so we know you cut out early. They have to attend to some parental duties in terms of transport. Glad you made it back today, but you got the relief for the rest of the week. I'm glad to have you here.
Oh, yeah. Might have the family come up on Saturday for championship night. You guys want to meet? You guys want to meet Mr. Charles?
No, we'd rather cut grass.
Oh, you haven't seen my yard. Boy, I wish I had grass. It's just a mud pit out there.
Oh, a lot of rain in the Atlanta and even in the Alabama.
I think there was more in Alabama. The
Sure.
drive along Interstate 20, every lake and river that you see, man, it's flooded.
Full of water, yeah.
Yeah, hello to the ladies from Benedict, the cheerleading squad. I'd like to say hello to everyone back in Columbia and wherever your Tiger heart might be if you're watching on Flow Hoops right now.
Here all week for basketball action.
That's the one right there that could not be, had to get her attention. She says, I'm all the way down on the end here. You are going to see me.
We culminate on Saturday with the women's championship ball game at 4 o'clock and the men at 7.
Would not be surprised if the Benedict women are there. Coach Rice and his girls undefeated in conference play.
Indeed they are, 15-0.
Yeah.
He's going for its 5th conference title.
Good steal here by Lane.
Back the other wraparound pass to Ash, and Ash converts. Good pass from Demaric Brown.
Way to stop his momentum and get back up there and explode upward toward the basket.
Wiltshire now, top of the key, Jones. Omajola trying to work it inside the Perry.
And this is the moment for Benedict. Okay, the first half was fun and games. It's now time to get it done. Now what are the Tigers going to do?
Omajola's going to drain a 3. That's what he's going to do. That's his shot.
It's almost like they heard me, Charles.
Yeah, people listen to you. 17:49 remains. It's 44-37. Brown tied up, he and Perry doing a good job of contest. And with the jump ball call, go to the possession arrow and the basketball to the Tigers. So Omajola departs now after hitting that 3-point shot, and Darius Williams, the freshman from Sumter, South Carolina, takes his place in the lineup. Wiltshire, the senior from Florida, handles. Williams got a quick step there, running jumper by Williams, and off the bench pays dividends.
Nice way to step into that jump shot, using his momentum. Drained it.
46-37, Hill at the block. He did not get the lay-in, but a late whistle will send him to the line. Teams playing for the right to meet the Golden Rams of Albany State, seated second in the East on Thursday here at the Bill Harris Arena, 3:15 for the start of that ball game. Daniel Hill, 9 points in this contest, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Got that first free throw.
A little powwow there at half court between Lucius Brown and Kadarius Ash as they get ready to try to make a run here.
Hill got both free throws. 7-point lead for Benedict. They have the rock as Wiltshire comes across the timeline.
A little weave action going here.
Left corner whistles. And we're going back the other way. Stepping on the inbound line was Wiltshire. And the Dragons Lane College with the basketball.
That a lot in the first couple of days here at the tournament. More so, it seems like, than you see during the regular season.
And I'm not sure, as I'm looking at the sideline just in front of us, we'll talk about it as this play unfolds. As the Tigers get it to Lou Johnson, foul line extended, and he wraps that jumper good for the Dragons. 46-41 after that. Just looking at it, looks like there's the solid color that's a big baseline,
oh, yeah,
and then another line on the inside, and I'm not sure if the players don't know which is which when they're at that sideline.
Yep.
If it's the solid blue
it's
line.
like the out of bounds line has a red stroke around it.
Right. All right.
There's just a lot of lines on this court.
Yeah, it really is. Jumper from outside, canned by Romello Jones. 49-41, that's a big basket by Jones for the Tigers. Here's Ash on the Dragon half-court set. Ricky Peterson set to check in, next dead ball for the Tigers.
Behind the back pass from Ash there.
Johnson in the corner, rattled and he missed there, but the long arms of Curry gives them another look. Behind the arc now, on the move, Demaric Brown, his shot's off the mark, but there's Johnson sliding inside, and he got a lane for the putback. Graham let him sneak in behind him for the lay-in. Lead is 6 now for the Tigers. As close as this has been in a while. On the move now, left side is Williams. He lost it.
Turnover,
Up the
numbers.
floor. Back with the lay-in, shot fell off. Wiltshire commits the foul, and Brown, Demaric Brown, will go to the line for the Dragons of Lane College.
You know, when I think back to the game, it was the next to last game of the regular season and a loss to Clark Atlanta. It wasn't the offense that went away from Benedict in the second half. They kind of got lost defensively. We'll talk about this more after the break, but one thing to watch is how will Benedict play defense here in the second half. You are watching Flow Hoops and the SIAC tournament.
Benedict Tigers cheerleaders in action here inside the Bill Harris Arena, supporting their Tigers, who lead at 49-43 over the Dragons. But at the line is Demaric Brown, the junior from North Little Rock, Arkansas, to shoot here for Lane to try to cut into it. First free throw falls for it for Brown, and good. And Brown with his first points of the ball game on that free throw. Brown for the second. Got that one as well. So make it 49-45, 15:22 left. Dragons jumping into full court pressure now. Wiltshire across the floor to Jones. Now Omajola near the mid-stripe. This is Jalen Schumann on the floor now. Schumann at the post right side. Challenges.
Contact.
Yeah, got a foul called. This one's going to go against Jawan Curry, the sophomore from Detroit, Michigan. And that's a shooting foul. So Schumann, the freshman from Jacksonville, now at the line to shoot here for the Tigers. Of note at this point, Tali, have not seen Jalen Stiegel come back to the Tiger bench after suffering that knee injury.
No, he's there. He's there.
He just got back.
Yeah.
Last guy, second from the end? Yeah,
Yep.
just got back out there. Yeah, he just came back. I looked a few minutes ago, he wasn't there. That's how quickly things can change. 51-45 after the two free throws by the Tigers. Marek Brown now out front. Up top, Ash. Ash spins base inside the paint. Boy, that's nicely done with the right-hand hook shot.
It's almost like he's palming the ball while he's up in the air, and it's like a soft shot put into the bucket.
And you almost get the sense that he's shooting down.
Yeah.
With such great jumping ability. Ash at 6'7", has a good look at the basket that trip. Tigers now working it on the end of the floor. Ash went for the steal, so did Curry.
One there.
And another foul called.
Schumann saw the opportunity and he took it.
So Schumann with the basket. As he works it at the baseline. Ash going for the steal.
Went in the corner and overplayed it on defense, and there was the lane to the bucket.
Yeah. Take a look at the top end of that play. You saw Ash going for the steal, and then Curry doing the same thing at the baseline. All of the taller help then out front, all of the shorter players collapsing And that created a lane.
Yeah, once you go for that steal and miss, there's no one back there to help you in time.
So back the other way now after the basket and free throw, 54-47. Tigers with the lead. They jump into a zone defense. Wiltshire almost coming away with a steal. He steps on the inbound.
Wiltshire says, you know, I had a little help there. He pushed it.
14:05 left in the ball game. It'll be the Dragons with the basketball just in front of us. Lou Johnson set to inbound it. 14 minutes left. It's a 54-47 lead for Benedict. Ash behind the arc left side. Now steps inside the paint and whistles there. Ball going to be called on Romello Jones. So with 13:55 left, it'll be right of the cylinder for the Dragons to inbound it. Hill, push pass back inside Ash. Everything almost going through Ash on the offensive end of the floor now. Hill with a rolling jump shot left side, got it pushed forward and got it to fall. Jones.
Ash, she's everywhere on defense.
Schumann now in the corner, tied up. Talk about Ash being everywhere at the bottom of that play.
Yeah, he stole the ball, but he also touched the out-of-bounds line while he was on the floor. So it's going to be Benedict's ball, but Ash there, he was the head of the defense. He guarded 3 different people on that one possession.
16 to shoot now for Benedict.
Wherever the ball was, there he was.
That's him. He's just got that innate sense on the floor that he can get there. All right, now Ash with 14 points, 7 rebounds for the Dragons of Lane College. Entry pass at the block, Omajola, and he'll draw a foul at the baseline. Benedict, no question, a quicker team than the Dragons.
Yep, they are smaller but faster and have so far done a good job of maintaining that lead.
Omajola with 8 points in the ball game. 5 of 9 from the free throw stripe for him.
He'll get 2 cracks at it here.
Missed on the first of 2. And Benedict right now from the free throw arc, 10 of 17. 1 of 2 from the line for Omajola as Deshaun Graham reports back out on the floor for Coach Maddox and the Tigers of Benedict. Graham started this ball game on fire for them. Finished the first half with 12 points and 2 rebounds. His first spot of duty since the second half. Ash surveying now, pushes across the floor. 3-point offering by Anderson, spinners off the mark. He has not connected with one into this ball game yet.
Well, he's put up a few, but none have dropped as of yet.
Wiltshire out front. Right side Schumann. Ash trapped him there. They got a turnover there. Ash catches up with the basketball. Schumann commits the foul. Boy.
Just how quick he is, able to help generate the steal, spin away, get in front of the defense, and draw the foul.
Just absolutely uncanny how quick he is.
And it's the instincts to know where to be and where to get to. And he gets just a look. He goes out at the 12:53 mark. I bet you he comes back in after the under 12 timeout.
Won't be long on that bench. Johnson with a look for 3. Pushed on the shot. We're going to have a whistle down low there. Tie up with Brandon Danso. And looks like Ricky Peterson.
Yeah, Danso had one arm on the ball but couldn't move. And the reason he couldn't move is he was being held with the chicken wing on the other arm.
I know, it's just couldn't free himself. Peterson commits the foul. Hill out front now for the Dragons. They trail by 6. Lucius Brown stepped to the paint, got it airborne, and got a whistle.
Yeah, he had one intention when he got that ball down on the post, and that was get to the bucket.
Foul going to be called on Romelio Jones there with the foul for the Tigers of Benedict. And Brown shooting here with 12:32 left in the ball game. Brown good on the form there and got that first.
Now a 5-point game. Lane is just slowly creeping back into this one here.
Brown, Remmer on the second is good. 55-51, down to a 4-point lead for the Tigers. Graham answers with a floating jumper near the foul line.
Yeah, when he gets engaged, Graham likes to score in bunches. This could be another one of those moments where he gets going.
Whistles and stepping on the inbound line again. You get this
Are they
sense that
calling the it feels like they're calling the red line.
Sure, that's what it seems like. And the players seemingly thinking that it's the blue box square line.
We're going to get an answer here at the next time the referees are hanging out. We're going to get a definite answer which line is out here. That's been a frequent call here the first couple of days.
Wiltshire now working it out front to go under 12 minutes left. Graham fires a three-pointer and bingo.
I told you, they come in bunches when he gets going.
Just looks that down, stares it down, and knocks it down. Brown all the way through with the Euro step. Oh, that's a long Euro step there. Basketball, we'll see it.
A lot of effort into that. Minus the payoff.
Yeah, 11:39 left. 60-51, Benedict leads. Timeout here. Back with more on Flow Hoops. Back to live action, 11:39 left after the timeout. Lions, or the Dragons that is, in a half-court set. Lead by Benedict back up to 9. Under Brown, that's underneath for Brown, left side. He got behind and underneath that defense for a tough basket for the Dragons.
And I think, Charles, we have an answer to our out-of-bounds dilemma, thanks to the hard work of Toby Durham, who went and talked to the director of officials during the timeout. And the answer is?
They are playing the orange line, the one on the inside of the solid blue. So that when a player steps on that orange line, as you see it there on our screen, that's considered out of bounds.
Players are probably thinking the blue border around the court is out of bounds, but there's about, what would you say, about inch and a half, 2 inches?
Yeah, maybe 2 at the most, yeah.
Because if you touch the outer or what would be the inner part of that line to the players, that's going to be out of bounds.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Yeah, they've got too many lines here. They all serve a purpose.
You know, with a player, when they're moving so quickly and they just kind of jot their eyes down to check their court positioning, first thing they're going to see is that big blue box.
Yeah.
Basket on the inside by the Tigers.
And that's what you're used to at your home gymnasium.
Sure.
Your high school gymnasium.
Just that full out box. It'll stay with the Dragons on there into the floor. We go to 10:54 left.
Yeah, you got a good idea of it now. The kind of red, orangish line is just inside the blue, all the way across and around the court.
And this is Johnson down at the block. Ash. Bounce pass Brown. He'll turn with the jumper. Missed on the rimmer. Graham cleared. Ash jumps in the back court and almost comes away with the steal.
That was a mugging.
Sure. And there, Hill almost comes away with it. Oh. Perry's going to be guilty of the offensive foul.
Oh,
what
boy.
work by the Dragons on that sequence?
I'm tired from watching that. That was
just
man.
many assaults going down on the floor as they took it up. Ash just jumping down in the corner. Got it free there.
2 misdemeanors on that play.
Hill inside the paint, no choice but to go up with it. Missed on the shot. Luckily, the rebound back over to Brown. He got it airborne, and he'll be shooting here.
8-point lead, chance to cut it down to 6 here. Lucius Brown at the free throw line.
Dragons had it down to a 4-point deficit a few minutes ago, but a couple of baskets by Graham coming off the bench pushed it back to 9. Now Brown trying to cut it back again here for Lane. Romello Jones, the junior, back out on the floor now for the Tigers. And Lucius Brown, 10 points for Lane College. And perfect from the free throw line tonight. Brown 5 of 5. Here comes Graham with a quick step across the timeline, but Ash tapped it away, and the Dragons get another turnover. They dump it down at the block. Quickly to Lewis. Johnson. Johnson penetrates inside. Good defensive work on the inside by the Tigers. Eric Crawford, the freshman, got a hand in there as Lou Johnson was penetrating for the Dragons.
Kadarius Ash caught the ball and passed it without even coming down. He did all that in the air.
I saw it, so I have to believe you. Spin by Brown. Over to the other Brown. This is DeMarc Brown, and Brown got the lay-in. So Brown to Brown results in 2. Wiltshire now, hard push left side. Back out front, this is Schumann. Protected it with the right hand, but he lost it on the shot. And here come the Dragons. Hill, right side, now in the corner. This is Brown for 3.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
High arching shot.
DeMarc Brown, 2 trips down the floor, 5 points. And the lead is cut to the skinniest as possible, just 1.
All right, here's how that play started. Knocked inbounds, Kadarius Ash takes it, pushes it up court. Gonna have a spot-up shooter in the corner. Look at the arc. It was so high, it just knocked the camera out of the sky. Take our word for it, though. It was a high arcing shot.
And it fell. 9:23 remains, and
Just
Benedict's
blocked the
lead.
sun out. That's how high arcing that ball was.
62-61. It's taken the Dragons quite a while. They have not quite climbed the hill. But
This is where Benedict says, are we going to be the 4-22 Benedict and have led for 30 minutes, and we're going to fall apart in the last 10, which is part of what that 4-22 record is about, or is today the day where they're going to stand up and take a step forward and play a complete game?
Got about 9:23 left, and we're going to find out as players coming back out onto the floor. These teams vying to go into quarterfinal action on Thursday against the Golden Rams of Albany State, who finished number 2 seed in the East.
And I would imagine that has to be part of the scouting report. Don't give up. They'll get vulnerable late.
You saw it during the course of the regular season, and so did I. We'll see how things play out here in Birmingham. Wiltshire now, left side to Omojola, just back out on the floor.
Extending that defense to half court here, Charles.
And Benedict spreading that floor. They had success with that in the first half. There is Ash with a steal. Showtime here. Ash got the lay-in. Boy, how just this anticipation is just so rare. He just goes, gets to the lane with those long arms, closes the gap so quickly.
It speaks to his basketball IQ of knowing where the ball is going before it starts his path there.
Ash with 16 now, and the Dragons take a lead. 8:36 left, and Wiltshire gives it back to the Tigers with a jumper. 65-63. 8:27 left now. Dragons trying to answer the basket by Wiltshire. Hill out front. They go at the alley-oop. There's Ash again. I'm not surprised he just didn't shoot that all in one motion, but he came down and went right back up.
All right, here we go. Tied at 65. Just over 8 to go.
Down low, they push it. Now back out. Jones, foul line extended, and he knocks it down for Benedict. So Benedict now from the floor over 50% at 24-44 for 54.5 shooting. Ash, foul line extended. Line drive jumper by him.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of that. He's hit the majority of his pull-up jumpers here this afternoon.
7:37 remains, tied at 67 now. Things starting to amp up here at Bill Harris Arena. Omojola behind the arc. On the weave, gives it to Peterson. He thought about the three, now he'll take the three. Missed on the shot, rebound cleared by Lou Johnson.
Charles, coming up later, a doubleheader. Clark Atlanta Central State ×2. We'll have the men's game coming up and then the women to follow that. So Marauders and Panthers will finish out our slate of 5 today.
Time out on the floor. 7:07 remains, and we are knotted at 67 each. Exciting basketball. More of it here on Flow Hoops. .707 remains here. First round action for the Tigers of Benedict and the Dragons of Lane College. Day 2 of the SIAC basketball tournament. Tied at 67. One will advance and one will go home. Ash pushes across the floor to Mix, who just got back out there. Up top, Daniel Hill. Back to Mix. 9 to shoot now for the Dragons. Hill pushes left side, spins traffic, left it behind. Floater inside the paint, shots off the mark there by Curry. With a fight for the rebound, jump ball, and the basketball stays with Lane College.
Artis Maddox is petitioning for a traveling call, but it's not going to get that.
Lucius Brown back out on the floor now for the Dragons. Teaching moment there for Coach Bryant Bazemo with DeJuan Curry, the sophomore. Brown pushes back out front now to DeMaric Brown. Good entry pass to Lucius Brown. Spins on Perry to the rack, but Perry contest on the inside.
Oh, jump
And
ball.
jump ball there. That's the second time that Perry has contested Brown very well on the inside and leading to a turnover for Benedict. Get it back.
Yeah, Perry has the advantage vertically. Brown has the advantage of creating
horizontally.
space. Yeah. And all the other dimensions.
Sure, depth-wise and everything else. Perry taking advantage of the vertical there. Got the basket. 69-67, Benedict reclaims the lead. They push into a zone defense now.
Yeah, they're in that 2-3 right now.
Ash out front. Over to Mix. He'll fire a three-pointer in front of the iron. Perry and Brown tied up again on the inside. A good call by the official looking at that. Brown with the body.
Bazemore was, Coach Bazemore not happy with Mix's decision, and he's going to have a little FaceTime.
We're under 6 minutes left in this ball game, Tolly. And it's a 2-point lead for the Tigers of Benedict, 69-67. Wiltshire, right side, Graham. Perry at the top now. Left side, Omajola. Works the corner, push back over to Jones. Right corner, Wiltshire is free for three. Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're going to say long two on that.
Only two, just in the corner.
Pushes that lead back to 4.
Great ball movement there by the Tigers. Hill inside the paint, had it tapped, but Ash there to retrieve it. 19 to shoot. Brown, right block, pushes back out to the other Brown, to Marek. Now Hill pushes the three, rattled, and he missed. Rebound, Perry underneath. Ash going for a steal in the backcourt.
He never gives up. Even if he doesn't get the rebound, his mind immediately switches to let's get the steal.
Graham, body control, can't convert though. There's Ash, had it taken away by Perry. Double teamed at the block, and Curry going to be guilty of the foul.
Ash with a little bit of his own medicine, having the ball stolen away from him.
Yeah, that time Perry done it. Did it for the Tigers of Benedict. And Perry has done a great job in this basketball game for Coach Maddox and the Tigers. 4:58 left now.
I feel the confidence rising on Benedict. They've withstood the run and have now rebuilt the lead up to 4. Chance to push it up to 5 here.
Perry, 10 points in the ball game, 8 rebounds. And Perry's true on that first free throw. Lou Johnson, the spot-up shooter for the Dragons, back out on the floor. He'll replace Marek Brown in the lineup. So Perry for the second. That one he left on the front of the cylinder. Ash collects another rebound. That's his 10th. So
you and I both had the same reaction. We immediately went to the stat sheet. How many rebounds does he have?
Puts him in the double-double, 20 points and 10 rebounds now. This is going to be Omajola guilty of a foul here for the Tigers.
And Ash is above his season averages on points and about to eclipse it on rebounds as well. He averages just over 11 of those per game.
Curry, the sophomore, shooting from the line, got the first free throw. Omajola departs after the foul, and he's replaced in the lineup by Darius Williams.
Maybe he's a bit like Samson. His strength comes from his hair.
So he's got a lot of it. As Curry missed on the second, Johnson got in to fight for a rebound, and he was fouled. Both teams in the bonus now, so Lou Johnson going to be shooting from the line. Which is exactly what the Dragons want. No time running off the clock with chances to build their points. Trailing at 72-68. And this junior from Sarasota, Florida, to shoot here for Lane College. Johnson with 10 points in the ball game. 2 of 4 behind the arc. And he got that first free throw. First trip to the free throw line for Johnson. He's good on the first. Johnson got them both for the Dragons. 2-point lead for Benedict. Wiltshire now. Handles in the front court. He's the senior guard for them. Doesn't want this to be his last ball game. Lucius Brown jumps him out front. Wiltshire ball fake and a whistle inside the paint.
Brown says, was it me?
Brown trailing on that play. It's one of those calls that you just know you're never going to get. Brown was beat by the quicker Wiltshire, but he thought he could make up with it in length of his body.
Well, the explanation that the official is giving him is that he had his hand on his hip from behind. And so the hand that he blocked it with was not the hand that was riding the hip.
4:25 left. And Wiltshire good on the first. Bounce to lead back to 3 now for the Tigers. Wiltshire with both free throws. Back to 4 for the lead for Benedict. Ash. Backcourt pressure now by the Tigers. Ash Johnson behind the arc left side. Back to Ash. Now to Hill. Hill
got away with a travel there.
Johnson inside the paint. Floater. Missed on the shot. But Ash with the long arms tried to pull it in. Couldn't do so. Wiltshire triple teamed in the backcourt. No call there. In the corner, Graham, a rare miss by him. Johnson with the rebound.
They got numbers here.
Dragons, Hill, left side to the rack. He's going to be fouled. Peterson catching up with that play.
There was a lot of contact right in front of us.
Sure.
Bodies colliding. It was almost like a free safety and a receiver having a little get together.
Wiltshire with that verbal utteration that I didn't mean to do it, and I think the official heard that and forced him to kind of back off of the call. So with 3:51 remaining, a timeout on the floor. Benedict 74, Dragons of Lane 70. Back with the finale here on Flow Hoops. Remaining in this opening round contest for both these teams. Day 2 of the SIAC basketball tournament. Dragons of Lane College and the Tigers of Benedict engaged in a good one. 74-70 Benedict leads. But the junior Daniel Hill at the line for the Dragons to cut into that, shooting free throws. Hill gets the first. Vicious point total to 13. Near perfect from the free throw line. Missed on that one. 9 of 11.
Pretty surprising that Lane has been playing from behind this entire game, Charles.
They have. Benedict has led from the very beginning. Wiltshire, they're going on a weave now. Foul on extended. Crawford had his shot partially rejected, but it will come back to him for 3, and he misses there. 3 white jerseys there with Ash and a couple of others, and neither able to collect the basketball as it comes out front to Wiltshire.
Wiltshire got a rebound over Ash. Ash thought his teammate had it, didn't go for it. He's probably immediately regretting that.
Foul out front. It's going to be called on Daniel Hill. That's his third personal on Hill. And we're going to the free throw line now. Both teams in the bonus, and it'll be Devontae Wiltshire shooting here. Demaric Brown back out on the floor now for the Dragons. Wiltshire good on the front end of the 1-and-1. He's got 11 points in the ball game. 6 assists as well. Perfect from the free throw line. That free throw actually gave him 12 points in the ball game. Wiltshire 6 of 6 from the line. Make it 76-71. Tigers with the lead. At the block, Brown with it for the Dragons. Doubled there, Graham guarding defensively. Brown spins the paint, pushes over to Demaric Brown. Brown got a floating right-hand lay-in, left side of the basket.
Really getting down to crunch time. Lane has not been worried yet, but now you start to wonder. Did really stay in front of us the rest of the way.
2:40 remains in the corner. Jumper there by Crawford, off the mark. High rebound comes away to the Dragons. They got a 3-on-1 over to Ash. Oh, nice flush and finish by Ash.
He could have gone either way with that.
Well, he went the sure route. Ash got the lay, the dunk in. 1 point lead for Benedict now. Graham has answered every time they've needed a basket. They push it left side. Wiltshire trying to answer. Spinner pops out of there. Rebound comes to Brown and the Dragons. And they can take a lead here at the 2-minute mark as they come across the timeline.
This might be their first lead of the game. I feel like
I think they may have led early on in the contest at the very, very start, but that was it. They got that first basket to start as we take a look at the replay here. Yeah, nothing you can do about that. Ash in his element there with an easy flush and got the dunk there for the Dragons to pull this game to within 1.
A minute 58 to go here. Benedict's going to have to execute. And I would say, you know, we're beyond the point of them doubting themselves. They know they can win this game now. They've played strong enough for 38 minutes now. So they might as well finish out the last two.
Sure. The wilting point has passed. Tigers of Benedict College and the new head coach, Artis Maddox. He's assisted by Phil Jackson. Struggled during the course of the year, but as you indicated, Tolly, some of the wins that they do have was against some impressive teams.
Got some Lane College action in the stands here as they enjoy a little Rihanna over the PA system. They were throwing up their L's and their C's.
And their players make it back out on the floor first. 1:58 remains. It'll be Johnson to inbound the basketball down to our right. And the Dragons can claim the lead if they're able to convert in this half-court set. Hill out front. Lucius Brown over to Demaric Brown, just in front of the Dragon bench. 10 to shoot for Lane. Brown penetrates, floater, right side off the mark. Tap on the inside by Lucius Brown. And the Dragons claim a lead with 1:40 remaining.
That 1-2 punch of Brown and Brown has been doing wonders here in the second half for Lane.
Here comes Graham out front. They're trying to jump him. Graham got it somehow over to Jones. His floater rattled around and wouldn't stay down. But
fighting for the ball and it goes out of bounds.
Dragons just not able to collect it at the baseline. Take a look there at the floater. Brown with the inside position.
Yeah, he gets it on Wiltmeyer too. So not a lot he can do.
Out front. Benedict. This is Wiltshire. His spinner won't stay down. When they need it there, that one wouldn't stay. We're at 1:13 left. Dragons with the basketball. They lead it by 1.
Benedict slapping the floor on defense.
Dragons need a basket this trip down the floor to put more pressure on Benedict on their ensuing trip. 13 to shoot. Ash trying to create some space on the floor. Over to Brown. Marek with the jumper. That one's off the mark. Tap down low. Lou Johnson tapped it right to Lucius Brown, and Brown got the lay-in.
It's been the Brown and Brown.
79-76. Dragons with the lead. Wiltshire, nice cross dribble. He'll go all the way to the rack and left it on the front of the cylinder. A basket here by the Dragons will certainly do it, as Hill is fouled in the backcourt.
Benedict bench looks a little dejected after that layup didn't fall by Wiltshire. Now they have to go the route of fouling and attempt to get the ball back with enough time to try to make a difference here.
On the play previous to the missed lay-in by Wiltshire, he had that jumper that he had the space on. He wasn't able to knock that one down either. No fault of his. It's just at that point it was a critical basket they needed, but it wouldn't stay down. Both that.
Lane's leaving the door open here. Daniel Hill, this is the first of two.
So 79-76 with 33.8 seconds left. Need at least this free throw. And he got that one to make it 80-76, a 4-point lead, and a timeout taken by the Dragons.
It's good to see Stegall back in the game. Stiegel back in the game. He suffered what looked like a knee injury in the first half, but he's now made his way back into the game for Benedict.
He'll come back on the floor with 33 seconds left. And for the Tigers, they don't have to get it all on this trip here, though, Tolly. They need to at least get the two-point basket and try to preserve as much time as they can with a good quality shot early in the set.
It's just 33 seconds, but it's an eternity in basketball. You definitely want to get something up quick, though, in case you miss. Give yourself some options, but Benedict will be to cut it to either 2 or 1 right here. Play some defense, try to get a 5-second violation or a turnover. If you don't get that immediately, you definitely want to foul.
Sean Graham out on the floor, as you indicated. Stiegel back out. Kevin Amojala, he's out on the floor. Wiltshire and Jones. Some shooters out there for Coach Maddox as Wiltshire wants to go quickly. Slides all the way through left side, and he got the reverse lay-in. And a timeout taken there by the Tigers of Benedict after the basket.
And the one thing you have to realize, from the Benedict perspective, Lane is going to play you close, but they're not going to play you tight because they don't want to foul and create a three-point opportunity.
Excellent call.
In situations like this, a lot of times you see the lane open up more so than it would during a normal part of the game, so to speak.
Absolutely, perfect call.
What are we going to do now with 26 seconds to go on defense? A 5-second violation is the best thing ever. If you can't get that, a deflection or a steal, but more than likely we're going to see a foul.
Sure. Early in the set, they may decide to go just a couple of seconds to see if something happens on the inbound play, then foul immediately. But it certainly ought to factor in that they may be thinking about trying to get Lane on the free throw line and see if they can help by perhaps not hitting from the free throw line.
And as long as the ball's in the backcourt, you can still play for a 10-second violation as well. That would give you over 15 to go, trailing by 2 if you were able to get that sort of turnover.
Lucius Brown to inbound it. There's a lot of movement here. He got it in the corner to Hill, and it's tapped off of his leg, but it'll go back to the Dragons of Lane College. He was doubled immediately in the corner by Omojala and Stiegel.
I wouldn't intentionally foul if you get him trapped in the corner. See what happens. Still have a lot of time with 23 seconds to go. All right, there he is.
In the corner again, and the foul comes immediately on Daniel Hill.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been so quick.
Sure. You had him trapped in the corner. Got to make him throw it out of there, but 22.3 seconds left now. It always comes down to this. Free throws. Hill is 11 of 14 from the free throw line in this ball game. None more important than these two. No problem on the first. So right now, 3-point lead with 22 seconds left. Expect the same thing out of Benedict.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily go for a 3. If
Sure.
the lane is open, I'd go for a quick 2 and try my lucky defense once again.
Here comes Wiltshire quickly down the floor. 18 Lost it, but it comes clear. Here comes Graham with 14 now. Pushed back to Wiltshire for 3. Flat shot there off the mark, but tapped in. They're going to give it to Graham probably, but I think Lucius Brown actually tapped that basketball.
All right, so now you're right back in the
same scenario, but you're down to 9.
You need a missed free throw.
Sure.
You'll have a good shot at it with 9 seconds to go here.
It'll be Daniel Hill going right back to the line. 2 of 2 the last trip there. But the pressure mounts as the clock winds to 9.
And depending on what happens here, either way, you're going to need to get a quick shot up, even if he makes this second one. Might look for get the ball to Graham. He can bury it from deep and get off a challenging shot as well.
Yeah, you won't get a foul from the Dragons on defense. It depends on what they do in that free throw. They got it. It's a 4-point spread now. And the only hope for the Tigers at this point is a 3 and perhaps a foul on a 3 or inside and maybe keep play going as we take a look at the replay now. Down low, trying to see if on that play on the previous end, if it was Brown that actually tapped that basketball in on the Tigers' end of the floor. No, that's good clear. I think Graham did get a hand on that ball. Yeah. Boy, our production crew here at Flow Sports in the Bill Harris Arena have been spot on tonight, correcting our every call. Sure. 9 seconds left here. Tigers.
Women's team, they're fired up.
Absolutely. Tigers.
Some problems getting the ball inbound. It's going to be a blocking foul. That's one thing you don't want.
Absolutely not.
You're going to stop the clock with 7.5 seconds to go.
And put them on the line to shoot free throws.
Now here's one thing that can happen. You can, I don't know if you want to employ this, you can make the first.
And intentionally miss the second.
Miss the second, or you just could miss it. Intentionally or not, get the rebound and kick it out for a 3-point shot.
Just cannot believe that escaped the coaching call there, that foul in the backcourt.
Yeah, you want to play them close. You don't want to play them tight.
You just took away your advantage there. 7.5 seconds left, but
yeah, even if they just hit both right here and foul immediately,
sure.
They're still in the
same
position.
scenario. Kelvin Omojola at the line to shoot the free throws. 6 of 11 from the arc, from the free throw line for him. First one rattled and he missed. Looked hard leaving his hands. He'll have one more coming here. He's got to hit this free throw to get any kind of scenario alive for the Tigers. Second free throw, got a better spring on the arc of that one. 84-71, 84-81 now. There's a quick inbound pass and the foul, as you indicated, Tolly, right away. And that'll send Daniel Hill back to the line for the Dragons.
Daniel Hill has not shown that he's a guy to step up and miss 2 in a row from the way he's been shooting here in the last minute or so.
So the junior Kelvin Omojola fouls out of the basketball game with 6.8 seconds remaining. And Darius Williams, the freshman, will come in. At the line, Daniel Hill just trying to close this thing out for the Dragons, who trailed for most of this basketball game.
Oh, this was Benedict's game to win. I'm sure there's been more than one time you could say that this
Sure.
year.
Deeper in the scenario today, but seemingly the same result as Hill hits that first free throw. And that was the one that was absolutely critical there. Make it 85-81 with the 4-point spread. Now, let them run the length of the floor. Don't touch anybody. That's the closing formula for the Dragons. Hill got them both from the line. And Dragons still in full court pressure. 3-point launch there and a whistle on a 3-point shot. You are kidding me.
Well, there's only 1 second left, but there was more time. You could make the first two, miss the third on purpose. You had one more. You had 2 seconds or more, but with 1 second,
I don't know why you even risk that.
yeah, you'd have to make 2, miss the third, tip it in, and get fouled while tipping it in.
I guess that's what you're saying. There is a chance involved in this somewhere.
Theoretically, I don't like it, but
Williams, 3 free throws, got the first of the 3. Spins the second good as well.
I mean, you got to see what happens. Just miss the last one on purpose.
Just to get that basketball active and see.
Yeah, made free throws not going to do you
Not any good at all. Nope. He makes it. So now all they got to do is get it up the floor. And they do. Brown corrals it on the other end of the floor, and the Dragons, boy, they struggled mightily in this basketball game. But they are able to come back from behind and win it over a feisty Tiger team from Benedict College. Benedict led most of the way, except for the first basket of the ball game. And Coach Bryant Bazemore and the Dragons live to play another day with the win. They will push into quarterfinal action on Thursday, and they will meet the Golden Rams of Albany State